Emperor Xuanzong of Tang, also commonly known as Emperor Ming of Tang, personal name Li Longji, also known as Wu Longji, from 690 to 705, was the seventh emperor of the Tang dynasty in China, reigning from 712 to 756. His reign of 43 years was the longest during the Tang dynasty. In the early half of his reign he was a diligent and astute ruler, ably assisted by capable chancellors like Yao Chong, Jing and Zhang Yue. He was credited with bringing Tang China to a pinnacle of culture and power. Emperor Xuanzong, however, was blamed for over-trusting Li Longji, Zhang Zhong and Ascension during his late reign, with Tang's golden age ending in the Anxi Rebellion. This marked the beginning of the Tang dynasty's decline. Background: Li Longji was born at the Tang dynasty eastern capital Luoyang in 685, during the first reign of his father Emperor Ruizong, but at the time, Emperor Ruizong's mother Empress Wu, not Emperor Ruizong, was in actual control of power as Empress Zhuwq and regent. Li Longji was the third son of Emperor Ruizong, and his mother was Emperor Ruizong's concubine consort Dao. In 687, as the emperor's son, he was created the Prince of Qi. It was said that he was handsome as a child, and was talented in music. He had two older brothers, Li Chengqi, born of Emperor Ruizong's wife Empress Lu, and Li Changyi, as well as three younger brothers, Li Longfan, Li Longye, and Li Longti. During Wu Zishan's reign, in 690, Dowager Empress Wu had Emperor Ruizong yield the throne to her, and she took the throne as Empress Regnant of a new Zhou dynasty, interrupting Tang. In 692, Li Longji and his brothers were allowed to have residences outside the palace and were given staffs at the mansions. In 693, both his mother consort Dao and Li Dan's wife Crown Princess Lu were killed by Wu Zishan inside the palace after Wu Zishan's lady-in-waiting Wei Tuina falsely accused them of using witchcraft against Wu Zishan, and not even the bodies were recovered. Subsequently, all of Li Dan's sons were reduced in title, and Li Longji's title was reduced to Prince of Linzi. He and his brothers, along with the cousins Li Guangshan the Prince of Yifeng, Li Shouli the Prince of Yong, and Li Shui the Prince of Yonggan, were kept inside the palace and not allowed to have contact with outsiders until 699, when they were allowed to leave the palace and take up residences outside. During Emperor Zhongzong's second reign, in 705, Wu Zishan was overthrown in a coup, and Li Longji's uncle Li Jian, who was at the time crown prince, who had been briefly emperor prior to Li Dan, returned to the throne. Li Longji was made the deputy minister of military supplies. In 708, he was made the secretary-general of Lu Prefecture. In 710, he was recalled to the capital Chang'an to attend to Emperor Zhongzong when Emperor Zhongzong was sacrificing to heaven and earth. Meanwhile, sorcerers engaged by Emperor Zhongzong believed that there was an aura of an emperor at the area of Chang'an where the mansions Li Longji and his uncles were, and Emperor Zhongzong tried to fulfill the vision by visiting Li Longji's mansion and attending a feast there. While Li Longji was back in Chang'an, he spent time to cultivate relationships with Imperial Guard commanders, as he believed that Emperor Zhongzong's powerful wife Empress Wei would bring harm to the Tang dynasty. Coup against Empress Wei. In summer 710, Emperor Zhongzong died suddenly, a death that traditional historians believe to be a poisoning by Empress Wei and her daughter Li Guo, the Princess Anli, so that Empress Wei could become emperor, like Wu Zishan, and Li Guo could become crown princess. For the time being, Emperor Zhongzong's son by a concubine, Li Chongmao the Prince of Wen, was named emperor, but Empress Wei retained actual power as Empress Dowager and regent. Originally, Yu and other officials Zhao Luwen and Yi Jingning were advising her to take the throne, like Wu Zishan did, and they also advised her to eliminate Li Dan and Princess Taiping. The official Sui Riyong leaked the plan to Li Longji. Li Longji responded by conspiring with Princess Taiping, Princess Taiping's son Zhu Chongzhan, as well as several low-level officials close to him, Zhong Shaojing, Zhuang Chongye, Lu Yuqiu, and Ma Saizong, to act first. Meanwhile, Empress Wei's nephews Weibo and Gao Song, who had recently been put in command of imperial guards and who had tried to establish their authority by dealing with the guards harshly, had alienated the guards, and the guard officers Ji Fushan, Chen Shanli, and Li Zhanfu thereafter also joined the plot. Without first informing Li Dan, the conspirators rose on the 21st of July, first killing Weibo, Gao, and Empress Wei's cousin Wei Gui. They then attacked the palace. When Empress Dowager Wei panicked and fled to an imperial guard camp, a guard beheaded her. Li Guo, Wu Yangxiu, and Lady Helu were killed as well. Li Longji soon slaughtered a number of officials in Empress Dowager's faction as well as her clan, while displaying Empress Dowager Wei's body on the street. At the urging of Princess Taiping, Li Longji, and Li Longji's brother Li Chengqi, Li Dan soon took the throne from Li Chongmao and again became emperor. During Emperor Ruizong's second reign, Emperor Ruizong was immediately faced with the issue of whom to make crown prince, as Li Chengqi is the oldest son overall and the oldest son of his wife, was the appropriate heir under Confucian principles of succession. But Li Longji had been the one whose accomplishments had allowed him to retake the throne. He hesitated. Li Chengqi declined consideration to be crown prince, stating to his father, if the state were secure, then consideration should be first given to the oldest son of the wife. If the state were in danger, then consideration should be first given for achievement. If you did not follow this principle, the people of the entire empire will be disappointed. I would rather die than to be placed above the Prince of Ping. Li Chengqi wept and begged to yield for several days, and after further persuasion by the Chancellor Lu Yuqiu, who had been part of Li Longji's coup plans, Emperor Ruizong agreed, and created Li Longji crown prince. Li Longji submitted a petition offering to yield to Li Chengqi, but Emperor Ruizong rejected it. Initially, Princess Taiping agreed to Li Longji's ascension as crown prince despite the fact that Li Longji was not Emperor Ruizong's oldest son and was not born of Emperor Ruizong's wife Empress Lu, as she believed that Li Longji was young and would be easy to control. However, once she began to see that Li Longji was strong-willed, she became apprehensive and often had officials close to her publicly opine that Li Longji was an improper crown prince. She further often paid Li Longji's staff members to spy on him to try to find faults with him. She associated with a group of officials, including the chancellors Dao Waizhen, Xiao Zhichong, and Sen Shi, intending to find some way to remove Li Longji, but was unable to get two other chancellors, Wei Anshi and Song Jing, to join her group. In 711, Song and another chancellor, Zhao Yuanshi, tried to persuade Emperor Ruizong to carry out a plan that they believed would end her plotting. They proposed that the two princes who arguably had superior claims on the throne than Li Longji, Li Chengqi and Li Shouli, was an older brother too. Both Emperors Xuanzong and Ruizong be sent out of the capital Chang'an to serve as prefectural prefects, while Princess Taiping and Wu Yuji be sent to live in Luoyang. They also proposed that Li Longji be put in charge of most affairs of state. Emperor Ruizong initially agreed and made the orders as Song and Yao suggested, except that he believed that Luoyang was too far and therefore sent Princess Taiping and Wu Yuji to Pu Prefecture. After Princess Taiping found out that the plan was conceived by Song and Yao, however, she was incensed and let Li Longji know her anger. In fear, Li Longji submitted a petition accusing Song and Yao of alienating him from his brothers Li Chengqi and Li Shouli and Aunt Princess Taiping, asking that the two be put to death. Emperor Ruizong, in response, demoted Song and Yao and recalled Princess Taiping, Li Chengqi, and Li Shouli to the capital. In the aftermaths, Li Longji submitted another request to yield the crown prince position to Li Chengqi, but Emperor Ruizong declined it. Also in 711, Emperor Ruizong posthumously honored both Empress Lu and Li Longji's mother consort Dao as empresses and built a temple for them to be worshipped, but was unable to locate their bodies for reburial, and therefore had to give them a ceremonial reburial without the bodies. Emperor Ruizong also ordered that all minor matters be decided by Li Longji. In 712, Princess Taiping had astrologers warn Emperor Ruizong that the constellation that symbolized the imperial throne, zh, showed that there would be a change in the emperor's position. Believing that Emperor Ruizong would suspect Li Longji of plotting a coup and that she could remove Li Longji this way. Instead, Emperor Ruizong, reasoning that the change in the emperor's position could be accounted by an orderly transition, offered to pass the throne to Li Longji. Princess Taiping fervently opposed it, and Li Longji initially declined, but at Emperor Ruizong's insistence finally accepted and took the throne on the 8th of September. However, at Princess Taiping's suggestion, Emperor Ruizong retained much of the imperial power as Taishang Huang, and his edicts continued to carry greater force than Emperor Xuanzong's.